to the Lipoedema Podcast. We are your host, Shell.
I'm Tiana, and today we have a special guest, a warrior from Brisbane, and basically my next door neighbour, Dianne Romano. Hi, Dianne. How are you?
Hello, girls. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming on. We are fabulous, and we're excited to get right to it.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. What first made you realize something wasn't right in your body?
Oh, gosh. Well, I've always, pretty much since I was a kid, thought something was different about my legs, particularly. It really didn't matter what size I was. My legs always looked the same. And it was the end of 2019. My husband and I went overseas, and it was a really long haul flight. And I experienced like this swelling like I've never had before from that plane trip. So much so that when I took my shoes off, I couldn't get them back on. Had to go buy brand new shoes because they would not fit again. And my husband actually said to me, he goes, "That's not normal. I don't know what's wrong, but that isn't normal." And at the time I was like, "How dare you? Like, there's nothing wrong with me." I just saw, some people swell on planes, like that's normal, but the amount that it was for me was far too much. So when we got back to Australia, it just lingered in my head, and I started to think something needs to be investigated. So I went to my GP, and she said, "Oh, you might just have a bit of water retention. There's, tablets that we can," she didn't really never mentioned lipedema, didn't mention lymphedema, nothing. Yeah, she just said, "Oh, next time, on a plane, wear compression socks." I was like, okay, just left it at that. So yeah, I guess I've always knew something was different, but it wasn't until I had that sort of awakening experience that this shouldn't be how I go through life. And even just walking around while we were traveling, because I had experienced that massive amount of swelling, I just felt like I was taking these like tree trunks traveling around and like doing 20,000 steps a day. Like I was absolutely exhausted by the end of the day. It was really hard. So yeah, it sat in the back of my head, and then I knew I need to investigate why this is happening to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what was your next step in investigating?
So yes, I went to the GP. She was really no help. I mean, she obviously just didn't have the knowledge.
Yeah.
And then my youngest was a baby at the time, and we were at home, and I flicked on some daytime television. I don't know if you girls have ever watched that show, The Doctors. It's got Dr. Oz. It's like a panel of doctors. It's
Okay.
yeah. So that was on, and it's like this big, dramatic, like they showed patients, and it's like, is it fat or is it lipedema? And I was like, what? Looking at these women, and they were my body shape. They were my body. And I was like, what? Lipo what? Lipo what now? And I was like, hold on a second. I just turned the TV up, and I just sat there, and I was like, that's what I have. And straight away Googled lipedema, all the symptoms, like it was like a light bulb went off. And I remember texting my friend going, "I've got lipedema." And she went, "Huh? What's that?" And then she went down and she was like, she Googled it and she messaged me. She goes, "You do have lipedema." So I basically diagnosed myself. And then I went obviously down the rabbit hole and found a vascular specialist to diagnose me. So I did get a formal diagnosis in 2021. But yeah, that whole road to understanding what it was crazy, because you just start to understand none of it's your fault. You couldn't have helped it. You really start to understand why you are the way you are, and it changes your whole perspective moving forward.
Yeah, it's so impactful.
And so you said like it changes everything. How did it change the way you saw your body?
Well, I started to, we all have this element of self-loathing as women, but also like comparison. I would compare myself to friends, family, other people, and I started to go, well, that's not useful in my situation, because my legs could never and would never look like that. So I guess it took some of the pressure off me, and it made me start to think, to be more grateful, like at least my legs work and at least they get me where I need to go. And if there's something that can be done, I will do it, but it's not my fault, and I didn't cause it, and I couldn't have helped it. It just is. So there's an element of peace and acceptance that came with understanding what it was.
I love how you said like it changed from that aesthetic view to the functionality. Like being
100%.
grateful for the functionality that you had.
Yeah.
Even though they don't look like other people's legs or your friends' legs,
Yeah.
but they work.
They work, and function's so important. We, like in this day and age, and what we see on social media, and what we see, what all this aesthetic stuff that's thrown at us, we so often forget about function and mobility and how important those aspects of our life are. And it's something that I no longer take for granted, because when you are in this community, you do start to see some stage 4 women and women who are so massively impacted by this disease, and there's very limited options for them at that point in time. You start to go, I need to be grateful and I need to understand how fortunate I am at this point.
Yeah, that you can still access those supports.
Absolutely.
Can I ask just about how your lipedema presents? Is it in your legs and arms? Where are you noticing it in your body?
So I'm stage 2 in my legs and stage 1 on my arms.
Yep. Cool. And I
Yeah.
was just thinking, because in your job, you work on your feet. It's a very active job.
Yes.
Do you want to talk a little bit about what you experience in like being on your feet all day and everything, and using your arms all day?
Yeah. So I fortunately, like as a hairdresser and been a hairdresser almost 20 years, fortunately, I don't experience any pain in my arms. Thank goodness, because I would have had to give up my career, which I love, a long time ago. My legs, however, I guess like you women would understand this when you are sort of living with lipedema your whole life. You almost don't understand that you're in pain because you just
Mm-hmm.
adjust to a level of discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
it was only after I had my children where I pulled back on work a bit, and then once they got a bit older and I started increasing my hours, I was like, my legs are in so much pain. They're so swollen by the end of the day. Standing on them, it's like I get home and I can barely get up my stairs. That's how it starts to feel. Where I never had that when I was younger, working all the time. I guess I was so adjusted to that level of pain and pain management. So yeah, it does. The pain is there, but I manage it really well. Like I know what works for me to keeping my pain at a level that I can live with, and I really stick to those things that work, because when I don't, it's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, or just going back a little bit, looking back on like your life stages, especially through your pregnancies and stuff, did you notice particular times in your life where your symptoms shifted in any way or exacerbated?
Yeah, definitely. So obviously there's the rapid weight gain after puberty. That was the first trigger for me. And then I mean, this might be a bit controversial, but I believe the oral contraceptive pill caused a bit of rapid growth for me, because I was one of the unfortunate statistics that gained weight from it. So it's always triggered for me by weight gain. Both of my pregnancies, I had Paramesis gravidarum for both of them, which was awful. So lost weight, however, my lipedema did progress. So I was always stage 1, and then after my daughter, well, when I look back, and like obviously I didn't have a diagnosis when I was stage 1, but when I look at the photos, it's consistent with what a stage 1 lipedema would present as. And then after the pregnancies, definitely can see the growth in it. Yeah, so I think definitely puberty, the pill, and then pregnancies. Since then, I've managed to stabilize really well. So it definitely can be managed, but it's interesting that those times in life really do progress the disease, unfortunately.
Yeah, we've had a couple of instances where people have mentioned like hormonal supplementation, whether that be HRT or the
Yeah.
pill or the IUD, has exacerbated their symptoms, and it's often overlooked, and like that medical professionals say no, it can't be that. So, which is
Yeah,
disappointing.
I
it's
had to actually sit
synthetic
down with my
hormone.
daughter a couple of months ago because she wanted to go on the pill. I'm like, we need to tell the doctor that I have lipedema and that, this could trigger, if you've got it,
Yeah.
that could trigger it in you. So we had
Yeah.
this huge big conversation. I found a GP that was lipedema aware, and they're like, no, you'll be fine. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
babe, just
So
be
the thing is,
mindful.
there's
So
such
far,
limited
so good.
research. Yeah, well, hopefully it stays that way, because I mean, there's limited research, limited funding to allocate research for lipedema. So we don't know, like, is it correlation? Is it causation? We don't know. We haven't got the information. We haven't got the data. So in my experience, when I pinpoint a time in my life, that was the only difference. So when it comes to my daughter, like, hopefully she doesn't have these genetics. I mean, she does obviously have some of me, but yeah, I'll be very cautious about letting her do that.
Yeah, without warning. Exactly. So, talk to us about what supporting your lipedema looks like at this current time in your life.
So I have made massive changes in my life to support lipedema. And, I like to refer it to me as like the luggage that I take with me through life. It's just with me all the time. So I've had to incorporate things that help me live my best life with it because it's not going anywhere. And like I like to say to people, if you don't manage your lipedema will manage you.
Oh,
So
no.
it's about habit stacking and just incorporating small things every day that make a big difference. It has for me. The conservative management's really important. I walk every day. I recently have been getting into aqua aerobics, which is really fun. So yeah, like I struggle with the full anti-inflammatory diet. I find it very restrictive and
Yeah.
it's a bit hard to participate fully in life. So I stick to a low carbohydrate diet that seems to work well. I don't drink alcohol. I eliminate sugar. Just try and live as healthily as possible. I do have a real love-hate relationship with compression.
Yeah. So
My
do we.
my compliance isn't great. It's so hot. Like in summer in Australia, like it is. I just cannot. So if I'm at home and the aircon's on, I can wear them. But wearing them out and about, wearing them to work, it's absolutely awful. But I think I'll do better in the winter. Yeah, I try, I do, but it's not. I am not the one to look at for inspiration with compression, unfortunately. But also, really excitingly, I have my surgery booked, and I'm going to be having lipedema removal surgery in June. So that's
Wow.
really exciting. So that's one of the ways I'm planning to manage it, along with well, I've written down what are the things I do. So the vibration plate, compression, supplements, conservative management, diet. So yeah, I mean, we all are pretty much doing the same stuff. We can't reinvent the wheel with this thing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's not groundbreaking, but yeah, I'm really excited for my surgery. I'm hoping that that's going to be the biggest tool that I have to manage this.
Yeah. Excellent. Talk to us about that journey to deciding you want to have surgery, and how did you choose the person that's going to take you on your journey?
That was such a journey. We, as you know, in Australia, like there's not a lot of access to, we don't have a lot of surgeons who are skilled in lipedema removal, or like, there's just not a lot of access. So I made a list of everyone who could do it, and I basically interviewed them all. Nobody's seen more lipedema specialists than I have. It became my little rabbit hole for a while, and I was just knee deep in it. And yeah, look, I spent a lot of money. I spent a lot of time. I really just wanted to make sure that I found the right person for me. And it's like buying a car. It's a commitment. You want to make sure that you are going to be so comfortable because you can't take it back. It's a lot of money. I did even consider going overseas because obviously the cost is far, it's a lot cheaper overseas than it is here. But I've got 2 young kids, the whole thing, it felt too hard. So I really wanted to be close to home. So after, meeting with most of the big names you'd say in this space, there's a lot of wait lists, costs, so many factors came into it. And then I ended up having a consult with Dr. Luke Watson at the Mater, and we just clicked. He was so easy to talk to. His lipedema knowledge was off the charts. I have obviously had quite a lot of experience meeting with surgeons, but this was unlike any other consult I had had. It felt like just chatting with a friend, and he really was so sincere. I didn't feel like he was trying to sell me a surgery, and he just got it. He understood exactly what my goals are. He was realistic about his approach and what he could achieve. I walked out of there thinking, I think you are the person that I need to have doing this for me. And yeah, so I'm really excited to take the journey with him. We are realistic about outcomes, and I know that this is not going to be a solution completely, but it's definitely going to impact my life in the best way. It's going to help me a lot. So I'm really excited and equally as nervous. Like I'm genuinely terrified. Yeah, so we'll
Wow.
see.
And so what does your surgical journey look like from June?
So I will have the procedure in June, and he is confident that I might be okay after one surgery. So he is able to do, because it's from what I understand, depending on your level of um, qualification, that actually can impact how much you're able to take out. I don't know 100% about that. So he can do legs 360, so from hip to ankle. That's not available to everyone. So just disclaimer for anyone who is listening,
Because he's a plastic and reconstructive surgeon.
he is. but it's also not available to every stage of lipedema, and it depends on how much volume you have to take out. I've worked really hard over the last 18 months to reduce any healthy fat that there was there. So I've really worked hard on that. So I'm hoping whatever's left is just lipedema. I mean, that's impossible. Everyone has to have some normal fat, but I've done some of the work already. So he's hopeful that with the one surgery, I will reduce my pain significantly and also feel less disproportioned. So, yeah, I mean, there's no guarantee. Some women go in for one surgery and they still end up needing a second surgery. I'm confident that he knows what he's doing, and I will hopefully walk away feeling like a different girl.
Oh, how exciting. Oh, we've got our fingers and toes crossed for you. It's definitely
Thanks.
a journey, like a recovery journey, but I don't regret my surgery at all. Like it was a hard slog, but
Yeah.
it was
Did
worth
you
it
have
to me.
just the one surgery?
I had two. I had my lower legs done and then my upper legs done. And so
Okay.
that was in 2024. So I had two done over the course of 4 months or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I don't regret it. And yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, we're excited for you.
There's a lady I
And
follow on
I
TikTok.
love you putting your health in your hands. Like it can be
Mm.
such a quest to try and find surgeons. And because we're sort of told a certain way we're supposed to do things, but it really comes down to the rapport you have with the person you're putting your health in their hands.
Yeah. And I mean, I met with some surgeons and I was like, absolutely not. I'm not coming to you. Like, so you need that connection's important. It is essentially you're putting your life and your health, your finances in their hands. So you want to make sure that you're so confident that they can deliver the outcome. So yeah, I walked away. I always take a support person with me. I've learned that because you can get bamboozled.
Yeah.
So I did take a support person with me, and she also has lipedema, and she said to me, she's like, he's the guy, like straight up, like she felt it too. She just knew, like, he's so humble and so easy to connect with and chat with. And he was really his specialty is lymph vascular repair. So like a special like plastic and reconstruction surgeon, but does a lot of work with repairing the lymphatic vessels for women who've either had cancer or traumatic car accidents, things like that. So his lymphatic knowledge was incredible, and he actually taught me things that I didn't know. And like you girls would know, when you have this disease, you almost get a PhD because you have to educate yourself. No one's going to teach you anything. But he said, he was really like, he goes, there's a lot of misinformation out there, and we need to be really cautious of what we absorb. And he was like, this is a great way to manage the disease, and it's life changing. He was really, he was great. And I feel so confident. I'm really hoping for a great outcome, and I'm trying to stay positive, because when you start to think about what it looks like after, it can like put you off.
Yeah.
Surgery recovery is hard.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. Surgery recovery it can be off-putting, but like to think about what you have to go through to get to the other side. But I just got to be brave and take the step, because like you said, you don't regret it.
Yay for winter compression.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
This is why I picked June. Otherwise I would be there next week. But it's like,
yeah. Very good. So you mentioned a few foundational conservative management strategies that you have in place. Is there any one particular that you think makes the biggest difference in your quality of life?
Yeah, walking. Absolutely. Walking every day is like getting that lymphatic fluid moving, and start like first thing in the morning for me. Walking, it sets me up for success for the day. And once I started really committing to doing that every day, not just when I felt like it, I did notice the biggest difference in pain and obviously appearance. Like it did help it just helped me so much. Diet as well. Those are probably the biggest two things. Like, when you've eaten some stuff you shouldn't eat, like you do pay for it. So that's my number one thing, and it'll be something that I continue to do forever, because it has really changed how I feel in my body and the pain. And I know as you advance along with this disease, that can be really challenging. So for me, it's like, if I continue to do it from now, no matter where whatever stage I end up or how this goes, it's something I'm already doing. So it'll be easier to keep doing.
Yeah,
That's
for
great.
sure. For sure. And walking, not just for your lymphatics and your muscles and your heart, but your brain and your
Yeah,
mental health
absolutely.
and just getting out of the house. And yeah, it is, yeah.
Yep. The clarity of it every day, just like to start your day like that, it's such a privilege, really, being able to move your body.
Yeah, absolutely. So how do you live a full life alongside lipedema rather than it having to put your life on hold? I know you mentioned you go for walks every day. Is there anything else?
Well, for me, I just don't let it hold me back. It's something that I've lived with forever and will live with forever. So lipedema just comes with me. I'm going wherever I want to go and it's just going to come with me. So I used to be someone who covered my legs constantly, never showed my legs, maxi dresses, long skirts, long pants. And now I'm like, I wear the shorts. I don't care. It is who I am. And if you want to look, go for it. Like you want to chat about it, I'll educate you. So it's just, I don't let it hold me back. I just want to live a really full life. And I think that you can do that with lipedema if it's a mental state as much as it is physical. I think we just have to be brave, put ourselves out there, and it's rewarding when you do.
Yeah. And like you said, you can educate people. Like if
Yeah.
they don't see it, they're not going to know about it. They're not going to get
Yes,
educated on it. So we
that's
need that
right.
representation. If it's us that needs to do it, it's us.
That's it. And we have to shout it from the rooftops because there's not enough awareness. There's not enough doctors understanding. There's a lot of gaslighting in the medical community about it. So we need to make sure that women understand if your body feels different and looks different, it's probably because it is. And
Yeah.
don't take no for an answer.
Yeah, absolutely. We do know our bodies best.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
So what do you wish someone had told you before your diagnosis?
Mainly just that don't spend so much of your life in this phase of self-loathing and trying to perfect a body that was never, no one's perfect. There is no such thing as perfect. These aspirations that I set for myself were completely unattainable with or without lipedema. Lipedema is irrelevant. It's something that we can't change, but just to be proud of who you are and what you look like is actually the least interesting thing about you. So like I wish I could have given my younger self the confidence that I have now because it really does change your whole life when you stop caring about what people think and what you think people see when they look at you because it's not about that.
It's so true. And we often say, like, nobody, like, you're not memorable. It sounds really silly, but like, nobody's thinking of you as much as they're thinking about themselves.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's like when you go to the gym and you just assume you're going to turn around and everyone's staring at you, but they don't even know you're there.
They're staring at themselves.
That's right.
Same at the pool. There's this ad. I think it's an ad, and it's like, I've never seen somebody's body that's so memorable that I think about it the next day or the next week or something. And it's like, it's so
Yeah,
true. We don't
it's
retain
so
that sort
true.
of information
So
about
true.
other people. So nobody would
Everyone's
give
got a
that up.
body. Everyone's got a body and we all look different. And that's such a beautiful thing that we all look different as well. Like it's just, I see some lipedema girls and I'm like, you are so hot. Like
Yeah.
you have just like, you would not even ever consider them to something wrong or something not appealing about them. Like it's such a mind. Although yes, part of surgery is we'd all be lying if we didn't admit that there is an aesthetic component to surgery when we've
100%.
lived with like disproportion and disfigurement for so long. Like that can really help to feel good about yourself, just to know that yes, it's going to be far from perfect, but just to feel a bit more normal it's definitely a part of it, but it's such a small part for me now where it used to be the entire part.
Totally.
So if I could tell my younger self to worry less about what you look like and more what you feel like inside, because that's the stuff that sticks around, not the rest.
Yeah, it's such a good point. Recently, a memory came up on my Google Photos I took a photo of my legs in shorts in my parents' elevator to their apartment, and my lipedema legs. This is pre-surgery, and my brain can't comprehend the difference, which is very, very noticeable between the legs that I have now and the legs that I had then until I saw that photo. And I was like, look how far I've come since my surgeries in 2024. Like, look how far my body
It's
has come.
amazing. Yeah,
And
it's
so
that
you don't see
dysmorphia,
it
isn't it?
because your brain doesn't catch up really.
Yeah, it takes a
But
long
take
time for the
lots of
brain to catch
photos,
up.
everyone.
Take
Take
lots of
lots
photos.
of photos.
Yes, before and afters are so important.
Yes, for
Mm.
your
Yeah.
mind. Oh wow, thank you so much for chatting with us. That is the end of our questions. It was such a
Thank you.
schmick episode,
It
wasn't
was.
it?
It was.
Yeah. You're so eloquent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nobody's ever called me eloquent.
Badge of honor. Badge of honor.
Oh,
Well, we
love
wish
it.
you all the best for your
Thank you so
surgery,
much,
your
girls.
upcoming
I so
surgery.
appreciate it. I appreciate you having me on. And thank you both so much for the contribution you make to our Lipedema community. This podcast, I have learnt so much. It has been so uplifting to hear so many warriors' stories. So thank you both so much for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care of yourself.
You too. Chat soon.
Bye. Lipedema and its symptoms vary from individual to individual. The opinions and advice voiced in this podcast are of a personal nature and used for educational purposes.
Please take away from this podcast what resonates with you, and please see your GP or preferred specialist for diagnosis and healthcare. We are Shelley and Tiana from the Lipoedema Podcast. Until our next episode, bye for now.